Miles' dad, Jefferson, hasn't had an easy life at all. I really want to dive a bit deeper into his story in this video, so let's get started. In the movie, he is a police officer, someone who stands for law and order and does his best to protect the community. But the truth is, his path to becoming a cop wasn't straightforward or simple. When Jefferson was younger, he and his brother Aaron grew up in a tough neighborhood where life was all about survival, and sometimes, surviving meant bending or even breaking the rules. From a very young age, he and Aaron were inseparable. They were like two sides of the same coin, always together, always getting into trouble or finding creative ways to express themselves. One of the things they loved to do was graffiti, tagging walls around their neighborhood with colorful rebellious art.
Yeah. You know, me and your dad used to do this back in the day.
Stop lying, it's true.
It was their way of making their mark on the world, even if it wasn't exactly legal. They were also involved in some small-time hustles or schemes, always skating on the edge but managing to stay strong in their environment. The neighborhood definitely knew not to mess with them. Even though both brothers shared that rebellious streak, they saw the world in very different ways. As they got older, those differences started to grow bigger and bigger. Jefferson had a moral compass early on. Deep down, he wanted something more, something better than the constant street hustle. Aaron, on the other hand, was more willing to ignore those boundaries and push further into that life. When Jefferson was still young, he began realizing that if he wanted a safer, more stable future, he needed to get out of the life they were caught up in. That's when he made the big decision to join the police force. He believed that if real change was going to happen, it had to come from inside the system. This was a huge step for him, choosing to follow the law instead of doing shady stuff. But this choice didn't come without consequences. Jefferson's decision to clean up his act created a serious split between him and Aaron. While he was trying to build a better life, his brother went the other way, doubling down on the street hustle. Aaron didn't just stick with petty crimes, he gradually became more involved in serious criminal activities. He developed skills in technology, broke into high-level thefts, and eventually became known as the Prowler, a dangerous figure connected to the city's most notorious crime boss, the Kingpin. This growing gap between him and Aaron wasn't just about their life choices. It damaged their brotherly bond and eventually tore it apart. They do still stay in touch sometimes, but the relationship isn't the same as it used to be. What was once a tight brotherhood has been replaced by tension, distance, and complicated feelings. Jefferson's life really turned around when he met Rio Morales. She was everything he needed, someone grounded, kind-hearted, smart, and most importantly, someone who believed in giving people second chances. Rio came from a strong Puerto Rican family, and she carried with her a rich culture full of warmth, close family ties, and resilience. Being with her gave Jefferson a new sense of stability and hope. Their love became a solid foundation for Jefferson, something that went beyond just his day job as a cop. It gave him a deeper purpose. It wasn't just about enforcing the law anymore, it was about building a family and creating a better future. During this time together, they had their son, Miles. From the very beginning, Jefferson was determined to raise Miles differently, to give him a childhood that avoided the mistakes he had made. Jefferson and Rio were both hardworking. He was a police officer and she was a nurse. They shared a strong commitment to giving Miles the best life possible. For example, he enrolled Miles in a prestigious school, not just because it was academically excellent, but also because he wanted to keep Miles away from negative influences. He also wanted to make sure Miles wasn't too close to his uncle Aaron, who had gone down a darker path.
You have an opportunity here. You want to blow that, huh? You want to end up like your uncle?
What's wrong with Uncle Aaron? He's a good guy.
We all make choices in life.
It doesn't feel like I have a choice.
You
right now.
don't.
Even though Miles really liked his uncle, Jefferson worried about the kind of example Aaron might set. Another important part of Jefferson's story is his view of Spider-Man. Because he works in law enforcement, he didn't agree with Spider-Man's way of doing things.
Spider-Man. I mean, this guy swings in once a day, zip, zap, zop in his little mask and answers to no one, right?
Yeah, Dad, yeah.
And meanwhile, my guys are out there,
Yeah.
lives on the line, no mask. You know, we show up.
He thought Spider-Man didn't follow the rules or operate within the law, and that made him distrustful of the masked hero. As the story unfolds, of course, Miles ends up becoming Spider-Man himself. But here's the thing, Jefferson doesn't know that Miles has taken up the mantle of Spider-Man. It's a secret that Miles keeps from him, and that adds a layer of tension to their relationship. Jefferson's views on Spider-Man are based on what he sees from the outside, without realizing that his own son is living that very life. His brother Aaron dying was a huge blow to him. Even though they hadn't been close in recent years, it still left Jefferson feeling devastated. Their relationship had been strained for a long time because they had chosen such different paths in life. Jefferson tried to live a lawful, stable life, while Aaron went deeper into the criminal world. Because of that, their bond slowly broke down, and by the time Aaron died, they weren't really in contact anymore. What made it even sadder was that they never got the chance to fix things between them or truly reconcile before his death. That unresolved tension weighed heavily on his heart. Despite all that, Jefferson plays a crucial role in Miles' journey as Spider-Man. There's a moment in the movie when he gives Miles a powerful speech, words of encouragement and trust that helps Miles take a huge leap of faith. That speech really pushes Miles to fully embrace being Spider-Man, which is such an incredible turning point for both of them.
Something happened. Look, sometimes people drift apart, Miles. And I don't want that to happen to us, okay? I see this spark in you. It's amazing. It's why I push you, but it's yours. Whatever you choose to do with it, you'll be great.
It's amazing to see how Jefferson's attitude towards Spider-Man changes by the end of the film.
I look forward to working with you.
Yeah, me too, I guess. But I don't approve of your methods, but we're just gonna have to agree to disagree.
Even though he still doesn't fully agree with his ways, he stops hating him. Instead, he becomes more understanding and supportive, which shows real growth in his character. One of the most touching moments is when he joins Miles at the end to do graffiti in honor of Aaron. That was such a beautiful and emotional scene. Remember, Jefferson used to do graffiti himself when he was younger, but he had stopped and strongly discouraged Miles from doing it because he didn't want him getting into trouble. So for him to help Miles create that mural for Aaron was huge. It symbolized healing, acceptance, and a way of honoring the past while moving forward. It was a big step for Jefferson, showing how much he's grown and how he's reconnecting with his family and his own past. Things get even more complicated in Across the Spider-Verse when he is promoted to captain. There's a lot going on with the multiverse and canon events in the story, and one of those events suggests that Jefferson is supposed to die after becoming captain. This creates a big conflict because Miles refuses to let that happen. Jefferson, however, isn't aware of all the cosmic forces and dangers swirling around him, and honestly, I don't think he's really gonna die in the next film.